Video, we're going to be going through the answers to yesterday's daily quest, and because this is a problem you should have already done, we're not going to spend a ton of time working through some of the processes that you should have already seen before. So if you have any questions on any of these problems, make sure you let me know right away. So to find the area of a trapezoid, we learned three different methods: breaking up into shapes, the parallelogram method, which is what my wife loves, and the algorithm. Below you'll find the area of the trapezoid using all three methods. So this first one is breaking up into separate shapes. The three shapes, of course, are a triangle, a rectangle in the middle, and another triangle on the side. The thing we care the most about is the length of this base and the height of the trapezoid. Now we know that if this length is 10, that this number plus 10 plus this number has to equal 24, which means this length must be 7. This length must also be 7 because 7 plus 7 plus 24, or 7 plus 7 plus 10 is 24, giving us that answer. Now we just find the areas of the three separate shapes and we add them together. So the first one is 7 times 7 divided by 2 because it's a triangle. So that's 24 and a half. And we know that the two triangles have to have the same area on the side. The area of the middle shape must be 70 because it's a rectangle, and a 7 by 10 rectangle has an area of 70 square units. Therefore, if we add them together, 24 and a half plus 70 plus 24 and a half, we get 119, and label must be square units. So let's see if we can get that same answer a couple different ways. Our goal here is to turn this trapezoid into a rectangle of the same size. So what that means is I need to cut this piece off right here, and I need to move it over to there and flip it upside down to make the right shape. So if I did this correctly, it'll kind of look like this: triangle, triangle, with the rectangle out here. Now, that means that this length has to be 10, and this length has to be 7. And if we remember from the last problem, each triangle had a length of 7, meaning that this length here has to be 7. And we now have a 7 plus 10, or a 17 by 7 rectangle. And because we're doing the area of a rectangle, I simply do 17 times 7. And wouldn't you know, that is equal to 119 square units. So for that part, we are correct. Now, method 3 is the traditional algorithm. And the traditional algorithm of the area of a trapezoid is that the area is equal to the average of the bases times the height of the trapezoid. Now we have two bases, which is 10 and 24. So if we're looking for the average of 10 and 24, there's two ways to find that answer. The first one is I try to think of the numbers 10 to 24 on a number line, and I try to figure out which number is exactly halfway between them. Or you could simply do 10 plus 24 divided by 2. And no matter which way you do it, you're going to get an answer of 17. 17 is halfway between 10 and 24. 34 divided by 2 is still 17. I take that times the height of the trapezoid, which is 7. And once again, wouldn't you know, I get 119 square units. All three methods, always the same answer. Let's do the last problem. A rectangle has an area of 18 square, and this should be feet, or sorry, should be inches on the other one. There we go. This should be inches. So it has 18 square inches and a perimeter of 18 feet. What are the dimensions of this rectangle? So like we talked about many times, you need to start with area. So what is the possibilities to get an area of 18? Well, we could do 1 times 18 would give us an area of 18. We could do 2 times 9, or we could do 3 times 6. And those are all of the possibilities. So now we need to figure out which one of these has the correct perimeter. Well, 1 plus 1 is 2. 18 plus 18 is 36. It's equal to 38, which is not the correct perimeter. The next one, 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 9 is 18. Gives us a perimeter of 22. Not correct. But the last one, 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. Gives us a perimeter of 18. And we are correct. So for the last problem, the correct rectangle is a 3 by 6 rectangle. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.